Caesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us. Hey girl, had a long day, you tired from work. Throw me some dollars and I'll remove my shirt. You can touch me too, these are the perks. Free yourself, lose your mind and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk.
Make way for the bad guy.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Crowd Pleaser, the podcast that brings you the inside scoop on what it takes to be a male entertainer in today's age. I'm your host, Caesar the Crowd Pleaser, and this is episode 33, where we're actually going to be talking about event planning, event coordinating, and hosting the event. I got my good friend with me, my brother from another mother down in San Antonio, Hard Bodies. He's been DJing for longer than I could even imagine being in this industry. This dude is one of my great friends. He is just coming up through and through. He's one of the reasons why I keep pushing myself to be a better entertainer. I want to welcome on the show DJXL. How you doing, X?
What's up, brother? What's up, man?
How's
it going?
Good, man. Good. We're both, what is it, Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night. Just finished a long night at work. We had amateur night. I don't know, did you guys have amateur night tonight or no?
You know what's funny? We never... I guess this is kind of funny that you bring that up. Amateur nights never really go well with us. We get more of the just randoms at random points of the week. Hey, I'm looking for a job. But when we try to do an amateur night, it never turns out well. I don't know why.
It just takes time, man. That's all it is. Like, you got to build it up. You got to make it consistent. And even us, it happens. Sometimes we'll only have 2 or 3 guys show up. Sometimes we'll have a plethora of dudes, 8, 9 dudes showing up for amateur night. So guys that are looking for jobs, guys that just want to kind of say they did it, guys that lost a bet, guys that want to show up and impress their girls. You know what I'm saying? So we get it all. It's consistency, I think, is the key. Once word gets around, then people kind of spread that word even further, and you increase your consistency that way.
True. Can't argue with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we jump into our topics real quick, I want to go ahead and mention our patrons. Thank you guys so much for donating, giving back to the show. I really appreciate it. You know me, you've been listening to the show. I have a ton of projects going on, much like my boy XL does. I'm constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and bring you a better and better show, more product, more content. All this takes time, effort, money, and just creativity. And I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you give back to the show. And it doesn't matter the amount. It could be $1 a show. It could be as much. It is no commitment, no issue. I just want to say thank you. It's really great. And I try to post up questions of the week, various giveaways, and just behind the scenes footage of acts I'm creating, scores of my strip offs, and things like that to keep you in the loop more than the usual fan does. So thank you again. That is Caesar the correction. I'm sorry. That is patreon.com/crowd pleaser. Definitely check it out. Next, La Bear Dallas. This is where I work at. You can catch me there 5 nights a week, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Any kind of party, any kind of get the stress off and enjoy a good show, by all means, come out, check it out. We also do private parties. In fact, I just finished doing a private party for a fire show. They actually hired me just to do my fire spinning and whatnot there, so that was a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. XL, you want to go ahead and mention Hard Bodies for me, brother?
Yeah, man. Also, catch me there 5 nights a week. We have the Great American Strip Off coming up May 27th. It's a Sunday. It's a holiday on the next Monday, so that works out for the ladies. They can stay up late, stay out, party, and not have to worry about making it on time to the job the following day.
Nice. Yeah, that's well planning on your behalf. And I think it was actually something we talked about last time we had you on the show. Caveat on that, La Bear Dallas is having our Dance Wars Miami versus Florida versus Texas. We got 5 guys from Miami, La Bear, heading up here to Dallas, Texas on April 20th. We're going to be throwing it down, find out what club is the best this year. Definitely, they bring a phenomenal show. All the guys at our club step it up. So you definitely don't want to miss that. All right, well, XL man, let's go ahead and dive right in, brother man. So last time we spoke, you had mentioned aspirations about being a event coordinator, and you've really kicked into gear, man. You've been throwing up stuff left and right here, definitely pushing the envelope and making things happen both inside and outside of hard bodies. So let's go ahead and just get us up to date, man. What all have you been putting together?
Um, well, man, recently just did Stripper Wars back in March, and I'm actually planning a wedding. Someone hired me to do their wedding, and that's in September. So I've got that going. Of course, I've got my birthday also in September going as well. And man, I'm just trying to just broaden my horizons. I've been in this industry a long time. I feel that I know it pretty darn well, and but I also know that I want to do more, and I want to branch out a little bit. So I've got the wheels turning, and um, just trying to plan little stuff here and there, whether it's a small event, just a small social gathering, or something major at a nightclub or a event center. I'm actually planning my wife's birthday's coming up this month, so I'm taking charge on that. Decorations, uh, all the way from decorations, food, everything. I just told her, hey, you just sit back and enjoy the night. I got this.
Right on, man. Right on. That's cool when you can kind of benefit across the board. And obviously, there's no pressure to have the best birthday ever for your girl.
Right.
So, great, man. So, you actually did a wedding beforehand, correct? Like, I think you did one prior to, or is this the one you've been talking about? And they were just planning way ahead.
Well, I mean, okay, so I guess yes and no. This is the one I've been talking about. Because I started they hired me on last year, like late last year. So, I've kind of been going you know through it since last year. I think right around October. Um, but with my wedding, I actually I couldn't afford a wedding planner. I couldn't afford anything, and like I took charge. Like what I'm saying, like there was times where it gets frustrating planning an event, and especially something of that magnitude. It's a very important day, to whoever is getting married and stuff. So, like, I actually, like, for example, like, I made my wife's bouquet. I made all her bridesmaids bouquets. Like, we decided on colors. Like I'm saying, so like I planned my own wedding. So yeah, I have technically planned a wedding before, but this wedding in September is the one that we've been talking about that I've got coming up.
Okay, neat, neat, neat. What are some of the events that you've created recently at Hard Bodies?
The most recent one was Stripper Wars. That was back in March. The one before that was the Royal Rumble strip off I did in December. Those are the two most recent events that I've done there at the club at Hard Bodies.
Can you give us some details, like how it went down and whatnot, as far as the Royal Rumble in December? How did that go? Because I know you started to kind of add not only a theme to your events, but also kind of adjust the structure of how they're ran and whatnot. Correct?
Yeah, man, I don't like to do something that I'm kind of weird. I'm kind of unique because I like the phrase "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," but at the same time, I don't like doing what somebody else is doing. Like I like having worked so long there and been through so many strip offs and just seen how they run. Like I knew what points to take and then what points to improve on. And so yeah, like I like to incorporate a theme. Everyone has one. There's like you said, dance wars. Texas versus Florida. That is a theme in itself. It's not something that would be like cosmetic, like where you do like Roy Rumble, where it's tying in a sport or a certain like you could dressing up theme or anything like that. But nonetheless, like every event, has a little theme behind it whether it be minor or major. So yeah, I like to do major themes where I can tie in the graphics to the flyers. Tie in if I'm going to perform that night, I'll do an act based on the theme that I picked. Um, yeah, I like to run mine a little differently. I really don't like to do like a pre-show. I feel that a lot of the times, the women wait long enough, and if there's enough women already there ready to rock and roll, I'm just going to give them what they want. I mean, they paid to come out and see something, and damn it, I'm gonna give I'm gonna give them their money's worth the best I can.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt, no doubt. And then you went into Stripper Wars, which was this March. Can you give us some details? Because I know that was actually like a combo event, right? Like it wasn't just Stripper Wars, but you had some other things mixed in there with as well, correct?
Right, right. So with Stripper Wars, it was actually also because I want to do events, but there's also I have to be courteous. You know what I'm saying? I know that the club is going to do its own events, and the guys have birthdays, so a lot of it is really picking the right date. You don't want to pick a date. You know what I'm saying? That's too close to like a holiday, like July 4th weekend. That's actually a terrible time to do an event because everyone goes to the lakes and the beaches, and unless you're located there, which I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to do an event July 4th weekend because everyone already has plans. Everyone is already traveling. So, yeah, I doubled up on the event, and it was my 12-year anniversary party. We did a Tim Burton theme. I actually had an Oogie Boogie costume that I was going to wear, but when running an event, stuff tends to go wrong. So I didn't even get the chance to dress up and go downstairs and take pictures and hang out as much as I would have liked. But yeah,
I
sometimes
can't
I'll
believe I
double.
missed that, man.
It's all good. I'll wear it to Dallas just randomly one day. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm cool with
Uh,
that.
but yeah, sometimes I'll double up and on events, and sometimes it works out well, and sometimes it's a little bit of headache, man. But you got to take the good with the bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you, like you mentioned, you have to be there on the ground, ready to adjust as the plan either plays out or doesn't play out.
Right.
I want to talk on something because we're going to talk about events, and you and I actually we've been bouncing ideas off of each other for a very long time. And initially, the Stripper Wars thing. Actually, I'm sorry. Before we go to that, let's. I do like how you touched on dates. So you were talking about non-holidays and stuff like that, and I totally agree with you. You're playing with fire when you want to kind of piggyback on another holiday if it doesn't coincide with what's going on. Like Halloween, we can kind of jump on. New Year's, we can jump on. But, certain things I feel like Valentine's Day or 4th of July or Christmas, like there just ain't no doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're shooting yourself in the foot. Let's take it a step further. How do you feel about specific days of the week for events? Like, does that play a factor in things?
Um, I do. I do believe in that too. And actually, I was just talking to my good friend, my brother, Juice, who works now with me, as you know, at Hard Bodies. Phenomenal entertainer. He's actually looking into starting to do events, so I'm on a tag team with him on one, and I'm kind of helping him out. And originally, he wanted to do it on a Wednesday. We had decided, okay, let's do a Wednesday, but then here goes my mind as already having run events. I usually do mine on Sundays, and then I broke it down to him why, because I had realized like before, I didn't put a thought into it when him and I had the conversation, but I like Sundays, and I'll say this, and I'll say it why. Obviously, as for clubs like ours or any nightclub anyway, Friday and Saturday are going to be your money days, regardless. Regardless if you have an event, if there's not a concert going on, if Maroon Five is not in San Antonio, if Bruno Mars is not in Dallas, performing, if there's not a big we have Fiesta down here that goes
And
on
even
for
then, sometimes that's not a bad thing either because a lot
yeah,
of times you'll see women will come back to the club after the concert because the concert will be done, 11 midnight, and they still got two
right.
hours to hit up Hard Bodies and Dallas and La Bear Dallas.
Absolutely. So Friday, Saturday, they're going to be your money days, hands down. So that to me is for business purposes. Like if I own the club, like I'm not going to do an event on a Friday or Saturday because we're already going to do business. It's already going to be good. The point of an event is for everyone to prosper on a day that we don't normally get to prosper on, and to give women, you know, because obviously we only cater to women. That's our audience. So to give them an extra day to have something that they normally wouldn't have. So I like to do mine on Sundays, and this is my logic. Whether I do it on a Wednesday or Thursday or a Sunday, yes, it doesn't matter. They have to go to work the next day, right? Okay, fine. That's fair across the board.
Hmm.
But here's my thing. A lot of women who have children, they'll ask someone, a friend or a family member, okay, my logic is this: for those women who have kids, someone is more likely to say, yes, I will watch your kid if they don't have to work that day. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't have to, like, so Sunday, 95% of the populace is Monday through Friday. They're off Saturday, Sunday. So my logic is I'm gonna do it on Sunday because people are more likely to take, a 3 day weekend if they want, request off on a Sunday, easier to find a sitter on a Sunday. Your mom say, oh, go ahead, have fun. I'll watch the kids, or your aunt or your sister or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It does whoever doesn't come to clubs like ours, because there's some people out there like that. But my thing is, Sundays just seem easier to get it done versus the middle of the week, the hustle and bustle. You're tired. At least there's a chance also too that they might get a chance to rest up on Saturday, and then come out feeling refreshed and good on the weekend because you see all the memes. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, it's Friday. Unless you work in the nightlife industry and it's like it's our Wednesday. What are you so happy about? Don't tell me, yay, it's Friday. Like, so that's my thinking. You know what I'm saying? All those little factors that you try to think about. That's why I always do mine like on a Sunday, if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm gonna do something at a venue that obviously Sunday's not an option, well, then you cross that bridge when you come to it. But if I have my pick of the days, I'm just gonna do it on a Sunday. That's just the easiest way to work it out for me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and plus you can capitalize on long weekends, 3-day weekends, and stuff like that. Um, both hitting up Thursday nights and Sunday nights, because if they have Friday or Monday off, then you're gonna get the same effect. So I
Right.
agree with you. It makes sense. I actually 100% agree with you as far as having events on Saturday. You're kind of just adding fuel to an already burning fire. You know what I'm saying? Saturdays
Right.
is already going to be the most popular night of the week to go out. You might as well capitalize and improve another night, which is why I have, starting from last year, actually switched my Red Charity event from Saturday to Friday. And you do run the risk of people being tired from work and stuff like that, and not necessarily being in the mood to go out. Or if they do come out, it's going to be later because they have to wait for their friends, they have to shower, maybe take a nap, get dinner in, and whatnot. But you still want to capitalize on things like that. And like you said, sometimes Thursday is even an option because people might have a long day, a long weekend, or maybe a lot of businesses do half days on Fridays. And so you're capitalizing on being an off night for most people because, hey, a lot of venues do ladies' night, which could conflict with your event. But at the same time, if people are already used to going on a Thursday night or Sunday night, then you can make something happen. And you're right, babysitting is, I mean, I can't say from experience because I don't have kids, but I would assume that your theory is correct as far as you're more likely to find a sitter on a day that they are not already working another job than a day they are. So, right on, man. Now, with that, moving on to what I wanted to mention earlier is initially you had wanted to. It's funny because we definitely had a back and forth on ideas on this, and so you got your idea for a battle of the sexes from the LeBaire Guys and Dolls nights. We have Guys and Dolls nights on New Year's Eve, and we have Guys and Dolls on Valentine's Day, where we open up the club for female entertainers to come out and perform, and it kind of makes the club a little more couple friendly, where both male and female people can come out to the club and enjoy the show. So you have gotten some reviews, and we have as well. that sometimes they don't go over as well because women want to go to, a female club to enjoy the gentleman and vice versa.
Right.
But you and I are never one to take the status quo or no as an answer. So we want to improve. And thus you wanted to take your spin on it and turn it into a battle of the sexes. So,
Right.
and then ironically, I wanted to piggyback off of that idea for mine, but we're not there yet. So tell me about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. I did take inspiration. I mean, like I always found that was very cool, it's very unique, and like I was talking to Trayvon about it, and because he's been to one. I always have to work, I always have to DJ on New Year's, so I never can make it out to Dallas, um, and actually see one. And then of course Valentine's Day I'm working too, or obviously I'm married, so spending it with my lovely wife. So I never really got to fully make it out to Dallas and see one, but I always thought it was a really cool idea. And so I took a little bit of an online survey. I just put a question out there. I said, ladies, how would you feel about an event, with guys and girls? And then some ladies who had actually been to Guys and Dolls Night, they gave me some actually really great feedback. Now, obviously, there's women out there who love the female figure as well as the male figure, so it was the best of both worlds for them. I got some comments like that. The ladies from some of the ladies from Dallas actually said, it's cool, but sometimes certain entertainers would just have a girl out there and basically just grind on them and use them as a prop, and not really do anything, and for those women to go out there and they're going specifically to see their favorite entertainer, it's kind of like seeing someone you have like an infatuation with grinding on someone else, and that's kind of a turn off, what I'm saying, from the whole situation.
Yeah, I completely.
So when they said that, I was like, okay, that's a very good point. That's not what I'm trying to go for. What I'm actually trying to envision is basically anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. So you know what I'm saying? So I actually wanted performances on both sides. I wanted, male entertainers to perform and do something. I wanted female entertainers, and not just like, run of the mill, like just strippers. I'm just gonna go out there. Like, no, I wanted, because I've known female entertainers, like they would put on shows, and we're talking like spin fire. We're talking about full theatrics, props, costume, like the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a firm believer that we as humans can do anything we put our mind to. No one side is greater than the other. So there's no reason that there's no way that someone could tell me, oh, well, females can't compete on the same level as males, or vice versa. Like, no, we should be able to compete and bring a hell of a show that's never been done before and wow our audience. And that was my whole thinking behind it. So of course, you got to play with the gimmick. So you hit them with the battle of the sexes. Ladies, who does it better? Who does it better? And so that's where I kind of went off with that, on that idea.
Yeah. And so if you don't mind, I mean, you totally don't have to answer, but how come it ended up not making the cut for the March event?
Well, I couldn't find female entertainers enough to, like, basically I couldn't find enough in time to take it seriously, and I don't like to half-ass. I don't. Especially with something that's going to be unique like that, I want it to go the best it possibly can, because it wasn't your run-of-the-mill, like, it wasn't a strip-off, it wasn't anything like that. Not saying anything against, like, our strip-offs, like, no matter what club, like, we bring it. You know what I'm saying? The shows are always great. But you know what I'm saying? With an event like that, like, there's not going to be a gray area. They're either going to love it or they're going to hate it. And I didn't want them, if they're not going to like it, I at least wanted it to be like, okay, well, these entertainers gave it their all. They all did phenomenal shows. And I'm proud, no matter if the crowd loved it or hated it. like I'm proud I threw this event. I'm proud of everyone that was involved in this event, and I can, and even if it flopped, I could at least help hold my head up high and be like, yo, I did something no one ever did, and everyone brought their A game, and that's all I expect out of people. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah, if
bring
you're gonna break the mold and do something new, you got to do it right because that you're already fighting against the current doing something outside the box. So the only way you're gonna win people over is by putting forth the best product you can. I could totally understand that.
yeah. So I just couldn't find enough on that side of the spectrum, and with an event you got to have time to promote it right, and I just stepped back until at a later date I could do something. I could still do that idea, but just I was just gonna have to do it at a later date.
Yeah, no, I got you. And it's speaking of later date and stuff like that. Like I said, you inspired me, so I went ahead and was go sit back and see how the event turned out. You actually invited me to come out and do a show, and I got with my aerial partner, and we were planning on battling it out. Not gonna lie, we were putting together this Mortal Kombat routine for her and I to kind of duel it out in the skies for the event. Obviously, like you said, you couldn't get enough people, so it changed. But it inspired me. It really did. I felt like there is a lot of potential in events like this to create something where both sexes can enjoy and compete and have fun. And like you said, just show the talent on both sides of the playing field because people are always comparing both male and female clubs. So why not, create a show and put it all out there? And so I asked you for your permission stuff, and obviously we got plenty of time to plan now, but for New Year's this year, the boss man has given me the okay to, or authorized me to go ahead and run that event. And I'm actually going to do a Battle of the Sexes for New Year's. You're actually going to come down to DJ because it falls on a Monday, and that is, like you were saying, our weekend, our Saturday. A lot of people want to take it off, especially to celebrate. But you and I have a good time at work anyways, and I appreciate you reaching out and being there for me. And we're going to throw down, and it's exactly what you were talking about, where I'm in the process now of doing a couple of public surveys, finding out the champagnes that people like. So I offer various grades of champagne that people can enjoy, working on, table packages, group packages. We're going to have a balloon drop and lining up, like you said, entertainment, making sure I got the guys that are going to bring the best show possible on that stage and, represent the male side of the house correctly, as well as bringing in female entertainers from everywhere. I'm going to have aerialists come in. I'm going to have fire dancers come in. I'm going to have burlesque women come in. It's pole dancers, you name it. We're going to have it. We're going to have female strippers come in as well. And just have a fun night, you know what I'm saying, where people can compete against one another, but at the same time have that camaraderie of understanding that we're sharing the same stage, and then celebrate, bring in the new year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, man. You're talking about coordinating, the cost of logistics and of personnel, coordinating scheduling, because it does fall on a day we're closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the guys that are working that Monday have that Wednesday off. That way they still kind of get their 2-day weekend. But you still got to make sure there's enough dudes working that Sunday because we're going to be open and whatnot. Things like that. Got to get wait staff. Got to get someone to work the door. Got to get bar staff. And there's a lot that goes into it. Like you said, advertisement. I'm putting together a promo video for social media. Those typically are about a minute long, 60 seconds, because that's what things like Instagram allow. And just kind of get the word out there and show people that for this event specifically, I feel like videos are really going to go far because they get to see that, like you said, the people that have pushback towards having females on stage, well, this is not a random prop we're going to have on stage. This is performers that are on par or better than the guys you normally see, and they're going to bring it. So hopefully that's enough to kind of spike it up and rejuvenate the Guys and Dolls theme for New Year's that we have at La Bear Dallas, and you guys could throw something up in your venue as well. I'll be there supporting you. So talk to us a little bit about you're trying to push now also, if I can, and by all means, if not, I can edit this out, but push towards male review shows outside of a more stable venue like La Bear or Hard Bodies. You're actually looking at something like a traveling show or hitting city to city like road shows, Chippendales, Thunder from Down Under. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, yeah. Most definitely. Because it's safe. I mean, it's safe to say, like, I mean, hard bodies is established. It's been established, um, long before I was working there. LeBear, uh, you know, LeBear's definitely been established. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in order to really, if I go to Dallas, people know me. If I go to Houston, people know me. You know what I'm saying? I got a few people in Florida that know me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, San Antonio, yeah, it's my city. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely want to do. I think it's just fun, man, because I love to see the differences. Even in one country, if you go just a state over, two states over, the flavor of people is just different, and I think it's a good experience. So I love my guys to death. I know that sometimes just even for us, even though we're working in the nightlife, we're putting on an entertainment show, but like I said, it's different. There's the people who visit the nightlife to get away, and then there's the people who work. And for us who work in it, sometimes it can be a little just like, okay, repetitive, mundane. It's the same old, it's the same old. Like, okay, it's all blurred into one long night. Um, so yeah, I definitely, for a couple of reasons, get my name out there, the company's name, Excellent Productions, get it, known, and just to give my guys some new flavor. You know what I'm saying? Bring around new people, like new atmosphere, new food, just stuff. Just different outside the city. We travel. We go to Dallas La Bear, we go to Houston La Bear. Some of my guys are going to the what is it, the Mr. La Bear contest in Miami
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
next. But there's so many more different places. Like there's Cali. You've got Colorado. You've got New Orleans, New York. Chicago. Like there's just tons and tons of places that would just be great to visit. And I just want to do it, man. I mean, I think even if I did one show a month outside, of Texas, it would be great. It would be great for my guys. I love them to death. They're all like little brothers to me, and I know they would enjoy it. And it's just good. Is there risk involved? You're absolutely right. There's absolutely risk involved with doing shows outside of a established club that's already known for providing this type of entertainment, but no risk, no reward. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you kind of just have to roll the dice and see where you land. And again, like I said, you got to take the good with the bad. So yeah, I'm definitely working on that. Um,
Well, plus it's not only to change it up for the guys, but also when you're reaching out to places that have never had a show like this before, you're inoculating them to that kind of performance, and you may end up bringing them back to either La Bear or Hard Bodies or
right.
something like that, or just have a recurring show. Like, hey, every 6 months we're gonna hit up, whatever, some city in Ohio or New Mexico that might not have an established strip club there. And so you're kind of bringing this level of entertainment and this kind of entertainment to a whole nother group of people simply because you're willing to go outside your borders, per se.
Right. Yeah, because I think there's like what? There's like less than like 10 established like male review clubs, like clubs. There's a lot of traveling groups. You got Hunks, Girls Night Out, Chippendales, all that stuff. But like actual clubs, I think the number is like really low. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's
I'd
not
believe it.
it's not as common. And then we have what, three of them here in Texas, two in Florida, one in Miami, one in Fort Lauderdale. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, like there's tons of places. Like we've done road shows in small towns, and those shows have been packed because there's literally nothing out there like what we bring. Nothing.
Yeah, we did a show. I want to say maybe somewhere in California, maybe Sacramento, or and it was much like you, an event private, two ladies that have their own event planning or event coordinating company, and it was right after probably about 3 months after the first Magic Mike movie came out, and they heard about the Men of LeBear and the inspiration for the movie, and so they contacted us, and we sent a contingent of 8 guys out there to put forth our show, man, and they packed the auditorium. Like, there was easily 600 women in that place, just going absolutely nuts because they never had anything like that there. And so to be able to do that is very rewarding on multiple levels. Like, I'm sure your guys are going to appreciate it, but you're going to appreciate it as well because you're going to know, like, this is something I put together.
Yeah. Yeah, and that definitely is something that I do enjoy. Like when an event goes really well and everyone is having fun. Like I always ask the girls and I ask them to be honest, because there's some girls that you know they're just really nice and they don't want to hurt your feelings and they like you whatnot and it's just like hey, did you have fun? Did you honestly have fun? Because if you didn't, I didn't do something right, and it helps me learn. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this wasn't really good. So my next event, let's not do this. Maybe let's do this. So yeah, like if everyone's having fun, all my guys are making money, and everyone's just having a good blast all around, I definitely consider it, as part of a check in the win catalog right there. Like
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, and that's how you grow. Like, no one's perfect and every show is unique. So you need to build that arsenal of different things you can do to make the show the best you can, especially when it's changing venues, changing entertainers, changing audiences, and stuff like that. What are some of the obstacles or difficulties you've come across so far trying to branch out to venues and locations outside of LeBear and Hard Bodies?
well, unfortunately, um, okay, so this is what I get from some of the casinos that I've reached out to. Um, they're like, we don't. Um, Basically, they have a in-house promoter, and um, I don't know. I got some BS thing where it's like, we don't do events with third-party, whatever, such and such. Basically, um, whatever. Um, then there's times where like people have let a mail review come through like a traveling group and that group basically disrespected the venue, crossed the line as far as like um, inappropriate performances or behavior, and it's left a sour taste in that owner's mouth. And there's some owners that are afraid that if they allow a mail review because of this, and again, it ties into the horror stories that they've heard from other owners, like they don't want to be known as trashy or any, a trashy uh, venue or anything like that. So they're scared to allow. So it actually is a little bit difficult to book at a business that's already established. Now, it's a little easier to do, like to rent out like a hall, like you yourself rent out like a ballroom or in an event center, but you have to have the money for that straight up. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to budget. All right, how much do I have to make this back? So it's like I said, it's all kind of different. Every venue is different. Whether it's a bar, a casino, an event hall, like it's just all kind of different. Everyone will feel differently, have a different vibe toward what you're trying to bring. Um, that's why I feel like the material you bring, like you put out, needs to give just enough of what I call the best of both worlds, the perfect balance. Because nowadays, sex is out there. Everything is. We can get away with a lot more stuff than we could 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So you've got it just basically blasted in the media. But if you push it too far, that turns a lot of people off. And then you want to have, show them like, hey, we're doing like a Vegas style show. This isn't no crap. This isn't no like junk stuff that somebody just randomly put together. Like, we've practiced, we rehearsed. Like these routines are great. They're high energy, they're fun. So like I believe the material you have to have just enough of each one of those to kind of entice because you're gonna have someone going for different reasons. And even sometimes that's what I call the surprise effect is a woman will go for one reason and then just fall in love and she had no idea she was going to feel that way. She just loved the show or she loved one guy in particular. She just had a great time. Like she wasn't even there for her. She was there with a friend. Either a friend made her go or she went for an event like a birthday or bachelorette. She was just like, okay, I'm here. And then she ended up like loving it, having a great night and comes back. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just about what you provide and what you put out. And unfortunately, like with any industry, entertainment industry, there's been some bad happenings, and it makes it real difficult for guys who really put their all into something like to get started. Because like for us doing it like that, like someone can book the Men of La Bear, someone can book the Men of Hardbody, hard bodies by going through the website or calling the club or whatnot. But for us to go out and put our foot forward, especially like states away, like everyone knows Magic Men, everyone knows Hunks, everyone knows Chippendales. They've already been established, and they do these big grandiose theaters and stuff like that. And it's easier for them to get a show because they're basically already a household name all the way around versus LeBears and Hardbodies, we're kind of just in the southern region. There's not a whole lot of what we do from some women I've talked about, like way up north. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Mm-hmm.
really have a lot of what we do, so it's a little difficult to get up in there.
Shoot, we need to hit up those states up north, like Montana or North Dakota and stuff, where girls need a reason to warm up. You know what I'm saying?
No, most definitely, bro. Like and it's also just there's different ways to run your. And I wanted to ask you when you do road shows because I know that sometimes they'll put you in charge, of a troop. Like if you go or
Mm-hmm.
you've been in charge in the past, how do you run your road shows? Like because from what I've seen and experienced, there's multiple ways. Like the guys from, for example, I don't mean to plug so many other people, but what was the most recent one? I don't know, like Girls Night Out or Magic something or whatever. God, there's like multiple magics this, magic that, but um, they basically they don't stop. It's just performances after performances after performances, and then they'll allot time for the guys to go through the crowd and take tips and real quick, and then it's back to performances. Actually, Chippendales does that too. We had a Chippendales group come down one time, but like sometimes, like a lot of times with us, we'll introduce it like we're doing it at LeBear or at Hard Bodies, where we'll bring the guy out, we'll do the act, we'll allow him a little bit of time to take tips, and then we move on to the next guy. You know what I'm saying? We don't lag too much on one guy, but we definitely like spotlighted. Like how do y'all do it?
So real quick, just to distinguish, if we do a roadshow that's booked on a venue, actual stage performance, and we're throwing down a show, and they book us for the show, then we are a little closer to what Chippendales and Thunder from Down Under and whatnot do, where we'll come out, we'll do an opener, and then we'll introduce the guys, kind of let them know, just an opener, one quick show to get everyone riled up. Then we'll bring the guys out, introduce the guys, let them know how the show is going to work, let them know they could put girls up on stage and stuff like that. And then we'll do a couple of shows. So we'll actually start doing our productions, the ones that have anywhere from 5 to 8 dudes on stage, sometimes even 10. We'll do two or three of those. And then when they're all hot and ready and spiked up, then we'll actually all go in the crowd, work that for a little bit, let them get hands on, tip us and whatnot. Then we'll go back up. Halfway through that, some of the guys go back, get ready for the next number. Then we'll throw down another 3-4 shows and then go back out in the crowd. We'll do that about 3 times, and that normally ends up taking up the time of the whole show. So it's just enough interaction with the crowd where they feel like they're getting something of it, but we're keeping the energy up. We're keeping the show Because let's be honest, if you're in an amphitheater and stuff like that, it's not the easiest thing to go down the aisles and stuff like
Okay.
that. And it's occasionally not a bad thing for the girls to go up and rush the stage, but at the same time, if you have a mob just in front of the stage, like ends up being a little awkward. And then we have one last tip time kind of towards the end, and then we go up for pictures where girls can come up on stage, much like we do at our respective clubs. So they get one last kind of meet and greet. Based on the people that hire us is whether we do some actual mingle time after the show where guys can sign autograph pictures and posters and stuff like that, shirts, and actually interact with the women, or if they're like, hey, look, we have a curfew from the city, you guys got to close up shop, go back to the dressing room, we appreciate it. And that's typically how we run the more productive or production style. Every once in a while,
Right.
we'll get road shows that they just want 5 guys to come out and just have a great ladies' night. And those are a little more interactive. Actually, I should say a lot more active. Those we typically end up coming out, doing a raffle, introducing, getting the crowd kind of hyped up just by meeting us and being like, hey, we're the men from LeBaire. Here are the 5 guys that we're going to go. Here's how the night's going to work. And those, we run it practically like we're at the club, where each guy will come out. He'll run his act. We'll have a circle of chairs around the stage where the guy's performing, and the girls can jump in those seats for $5, and it's a hot seat. The guy will go and periodically go hit up each girl, dancing on her. She gets to, feel them up a little bit and stuff, enjoy the interaction, and they just keep rotating those chairs. And we'll actually keep that going until the chairs are empty. Once everyone's got their chance with that entertainer, we'll call them off, and we'll have the next one ready to go. We'll do about 5 guys, typically the standard we'll have. We'll go through all 5 guys, and then we might have like a couple of special things where if we run the raffle, you can oil one of the guys up, or maybe put your bachelorette up on stage and all 5 guys dance on her. And then we'll finish once again with pictures. And those are more or less how both our road shows go. One's a little more production based, one's more a little interaction, a little more intimate.
Right. Yeah. So we do a lot. When we get booked for a lot more of the interaction type of road shows.
Yeah.
That's why I was always curious. That's pretty cool, man.
It's based on the venue, I think, really. Like when you get people that are trying to sell out an amphitheater or a concert stage or something like that, I feel like they're going to be more towards the production act, because just rotating women in and out and up the stairs and stuff to go on actual stage is going to be an issue, versus when a bar or a restaurant or a dance hall books you and everyone's kind of in your face already.
Right.
Let me ask you, so obviously I totally agree with you. I've experienced this myself where this either a bad experience, bad taste in their mouth, or just they are somewhat ignorant of the industry. They are hesitant to book us because of the stereotype versus the actual show we do. Have you seen any success, or have you even tried using a highlight reel, sizzle reel, promo video to kind of break the ice and show them straight up, like, look, this is the product we are pushing?
Actually, yeah, I've just just recently acquired means to be able to do that. So I've been, I obviously don't want to put out something without. Okay, so basically what I mean is, I'm just acquired a camera not too long ago. Okay, so getting familiar with that. Just got video editing software. Just got Premiere. So
Welcome to the club, brother.
yeah, no, and that was real recent. So I'm just working the kinks out. I'm actually going to upload another little sample video. You saw a sample video that I sent you, that I did on Premiere.
Yeah, that was on point.
So I definitely want to hone the skills. But yeah, man, especially nowadays, everything has to be like that. Like video is in. Like it's almost kind of weird, like as far as like just putting like a picture. No one really pays attention, but when that everyone's on their Facebook app and that video starts playing automatically, or the Instagram or whatever, it's like it's already caught their eye, caught their attention. They're like, oh wait, hold on, let me, what I'm saying. So videos are definitely the way to go. And so yeah, I definitely will real soon here be putting together some press kits and just sending them out like hotcakes, man. And hopefully I'll catch a bite here and there, and it'll be a good turnout for everybody.
Yeah, it's very much. I feel like it's become the age of don't tell me, show me, and with stuff like you said, like Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, even Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Twitter is limits the messages you could throw out there. So even videos sometimes I feel like I said earlier I try to gauge mine about 60 seconds, maybe topping off at 120 seconds, 2 minutes, because people they it's not that they lack the attention span, but there's so much being thrown out at everyone on a regular basis, especially if you're hitting up venues that do shows on a regular basis. They're getting 10, 20 emails or messages, DMs and private messages from people trying to perform at their venue. So
Right.
you need to grab their attention quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Exactly.
So yeah, it definitely. I think I've been pushing for it on my social media. I think it helps a lot because you impress people right off the bat. Of wow, that I was not expecting this, and so you kind of break that initial. Well, I don't really know because like you said, you put on a Las Vegas style show, top notch choreography, high energy, and now all of a sudden they're realizing that it is something that they've either had there before, except you're adding a little aspect of romance to it, or just that it's something they are willing to try because the desire and the potential is there. So you had mentioned that if you're going to go for a venue that has events on a regular basis, then it's more about pitching your idea to them. And then if you are going to start your own, then it's the matter of having the finances. What,
Right.
in your opinion, seems to be the easier of the two? Like, obviously, you would want to do both because you have the ability to make more money um, doing your own event because you spend what you spend and then you could pocket everything else accordingly. Obviously your guys, your show, this and that. You have the potential of riding on the coattails of a bigger venue, but you also have a flat rate, I would assume. So, what are some of your opinions on that?
Okay. So both have their pros and cons. My personal opinion, what I'd like to do myself would be to basically do a ballroom or an event hall, um, preferably one a little bit more well known, but you get what you can get. And the reason for that is there's a lot less heads on the snake. And what I mean by that is when you rent out a space, okay, they generally don't care as long as it's not illegal what you're doing. Okay, so as long as you abide by their rules, you have to have X amount of security for X amount of people that are going to be in the building. You can easily generally determine that, um, by the number of ticket sales, stuff like that. And you can actually get security last second. All you have to do is abide by the time slot on the contract, the minimal rules they have for the venue itself, and then whatever rules the city you're in or the town you're in has, because those change as you go from state to state, city to city. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just abide by what the city says you can do. Because some places are a lot more, how shall I say, not uptight, but just conservative. There you go. That's the one I'm looking for. A little bit more conservative areas. So, our guys, they have fullbacks and they have shorts. Some places won't allow, what I'm saying, the fullbacks. So you have to resort to the shorts. Other places, hey, have fun, go wild. As long as you're not showing anything, we're all good. When you do an event at an established place like a bar or a venue that has a stage and stuff like that, like you are limited to the capacity that they have. You have to not only abide by the owner's rules, which those can change because club owners are real weird like that. They'll say, "Oh, you'll talk to somebody this and this. This is how it goes." Within the night of, "Oh no, you can't do this. Oh no, you can't do that." You have to do it like this. Then on top of that, you have the laws of the city, of course, and then basically, if the owner gets tired of you, it's like, okay, well, you're done. That's it. It's my venue. I call the shots. Like you have a lot less power, and not all venues, not all the time, to where you do an event at a venue like that. They're not all bad, but you definitely do run the risk of you know, doing an event that can go sour a lot faster than if you yourself had just rented a space, got all the equipment, and then factored the numbers in. Okay, this is what I need to make this up, and then pay everybody and stuff like that, and then pocket whatever's left. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So on that, while we're talking about finances and stuff, how important is pre-sale? Pre-sale of tickets, pre-sale of tables, stuff like that. Like, is that kind of? Do you take it as it is? Do you put extra importance on it? Is it a big deal to you? Is it not?
I mean, me personally, um, I think it's very important. I think that a lot of places, they definitely ask you like, okay, how many tickets have you sold? Like, how many? It gives you an idea of what your event's going to be like. It sets the tone. Now, to me, that's very important. Pre-sales, definitely. I try to sell as much as I can, as early as I can. However, I will say this: if you have a bad pre-sale, does not mean your event will be bad. Um, I I did an event, and I'm trying to remember which one it was, but I sold a lot less pre-sale than my previous two events. But my door was slamming, and I got basically double what I sold on pre-sale. Double that amount came through the door. Like,
Oh
you know what I'm
wow.
saying? So like, just because your pre-sale doesn't do good, but 9 times out of 10, your pre-sale will give you a kind of, okay, your event's not doing so well, but it also is a learning thing. Okay, how am I promoting it? Am I promoting it wrong? What am I doing wrong? So to me, pre-sale is very important.
Yeah, I also like it because I feel like it guarantees butts in the seats.
Yeah,
It's very easy for people to say they're going to go to a venue and they're going to go to an event, but when push comes to shove, oh, I'm a little tired, oh, my hair's not looking good, oh,
right.
this other thing came on. But when you kind of add that financial signature. You know what I'm saying? People spent money on it. It it lets you know what you have to prepare for as a venue. Make sure you have enough alcohol, make sure you have enough chairs, space, this and that. But it also kind of guarantees that these people are going to come out in some form or fashion because of that. So it just kind of helps everyone get a warm and fuzzy about it being successful.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I said, it's all a numbers game. So, I mean, if you know that you're gonna have X amount of people, you're gonna want X amount of alcohol for sure, and then some extra to whatever foot traffic comes in through the door.
Yeah. And plus, there's also the thing where when someone, if they have tickets to something, it's harder for them to forget about it. And so they're going to talk about it more to their friends and invite them. If they get pre sale tickets or a table, let's go with that. You know, somebody gets a table for four, but it's only her and her girlfriend. She's going to be more inclined for the next couple of weeks up to the event. Hey, I got two extra chairs. You know, someone come out to this event with me. We're going to go anyways. You should tag along. And so even people that may have not come on their own or maybe have not even heard about the event get to hear about it, and they have incentive to go on top of it just being a great show. So I feel like it actually does play a very big role, even if, like you said, it's not make or break.
Very true.
Sweet, man. Well, I think that about wraps it up for event planning and coordinating. I really appreciate you shedding some insight on it. Obviously, for our listeners, keep on the lookout for my Red Charity event that's going to be happening in August, as well as my New Year's Battle of the Sexes is going to be going down. XL is
Yeah,
obviously going to have a bunch of things going on with his birthday event, right?
yeah, yeah. Of course, on a Sunday, September 9th. I originally was going to go with a Wicked Circus theme, but I don't know. I decided to change it. I have time enough to change it, so officially won't change from this point on. My theme is going to be Fright Night. I was a huge horror movie fan growing up as a kid. It's something that I feel I can go over the top with as far as theme and as far as my birthday act. So yeah, Sunday, September 9th, Fright Night, XL's birthday, Fright Night Bash. It's going to be fun, man. Going to have some special guest entertainers in the house, and going to definitely have some unique performers in the house. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that.
I like it, man. I like it. That's a good theme. It's tight. I expected no less from you. Your creativity knows no bounds, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, all right, man. We're at the point where we talk about our less than best and our best events of the week. So, go ahead and kick us off. What was your worst event of the week, man? Or, I mean, if we're on the event topic, you could say your least favorite event.
Okay. Okay. My least one would be this past stripper wars. I only did about 50 women. Oh, that sounded really bad. I'm so sorry for those listening. We only had about 50 women show up. And, that was for a number of reasons. Like I said, first it was going to be the Battle of the Sexes. Then we canceled that. Then I had a date, and then I had to push it back due to a club interference thing. So a bunch of stuff got jumbled. It is what it is. Like I said, take the good with the bad. That was definitely my least favorite event. But the women still had fun. The majority of the guys made cash that night. Great performances. Obviously, great performance by you magnificent bastard. And
Oh man, come on now! You're only saying that because I'm in front. Like everyone threw down. Like I had to stop a couple of my dances so I could watch the guys perform because everyone brought it. It was a great night. I enjoyed it. I'm glad you invited me. I had a blast. So thank you.
thank you. And then I guess my favorite event would be the first strip off I ever threw was the best of the best strip off. And it was I did my birthday the same night. It was a triple threat birthday, which I incorporated Marvel, DC Comics, and Star Wars all in one one birthday theme.
Oh,
And
I do remember that birthday act. It like, oh man, just when I thought it was over, like you kept bringing on new characters. I was blown away.
yes, yes, thank you. And we did about almost three. There was almost about 300 women there, and for a Sunday with no holiday on Monday, and everyone having to be at work, it was a great learning experience for me. It was a great birthday. Everyone had a blast. Everyone made money, and it was crazy, just crazy wicked in there, man. So yeah, that was the best of the best strip off. Was definitely my favorite event.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. For me, my worst event, I ain't gonna lie. So this past weekend was Dallas Fan Expo, and a bunch of the guys got together. We went out and promoted as well as feed our inner nerd, get some cool artwork, meet some cool people and stuff like that. I ended up dressing up as Cal Drogo on Saturday and took a bunch of pictures, passed out a ton of flyers and whatnot. So during one of the pictures, we're all sitting there in a group, and it's a handful of ladies that dressed up and a couple of the guys dressed up and stuff like that. And this other cosplayer comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I take y'all's picture?" I said, "No, not a problem at all." And so he was cosplaying some kind of soldier or something like that. I'm not really quite sure what specific video game or comic he was trying to play. He had a crystal on his chest as some kind of shield or something. So he takes the picture, and then it struck me as odd and funny and awkward all at the same time. But the dude just ends up looking. He's like, "Hey, thanks. That was great. Everything's perfect except, man, she's taller than you, dude. Like, you're too short." And I kind of looked at him.
Oh,
And don't get me wrong. Like, let me go ahead and set the record straight, man. That like I have been short all my life. It doesn't bother me one bit. It really doesn't.
right.
It really, like, I can't fix it. So because of that is what it's kind of like when women tell me at the club, they're like, "Hey, I would like you, but you're too short or you're not 6 foot, whatever." And I tell them, I'm like, well, there's other guys that meet that criteria that you are more than welcome to go talk to, because I don't know what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? like, I can't grow a couple inches for you. So I literally was like looking at dude, like, I'm sorry, I left my tall cosplay at home today. Like, but it was, yeah, it just was so random. And I didn't know what he wanted me to say to that. And I don't know if he was trying to take me down a notch or just he was socially awkward. But, and then I'm not going to lie, my brain went, after the initial thought process that went through my brain, got a little ugly. And I felt like being like, well, you're cosplaying a soldier. Aren't you a little out of shape to be a soldier? But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That wasn't my place. It was quite petty, so I just let it go. But like I said, it's really not that bad. I just thought it was so weird, and really, I had a great week. So that's probably the least. You know, if that's the biggest of my worries, I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's lucky that I wasn't there because I played the bad guy very well.
Oh well, I mean, it just like I said, it really doesn't bother me at all. It just I think the sheer randomness of it is what threw me
Yeah.
off. I was just like, out of everything you could have said at that moment, that's what you went with. So, all right, say Levy. Anyways, best event. Actually, best event happened tonight. Ironically enough, I was at my aerial silks class, and as I was, there was a Lyra class ahead of our silk class, so they were cooling down and picking everything up while we were warming up and stretching. And this one lady just happened to yell like, Caesar, I absolutely love. And I'm here expecting her to say a post or, maybe one of the new tricks I learned or something like that. And all of a sudden she says, your podcast. And I'll be honest with you, it caught me off guard. I am not very familiar with her. I've seen her in class, but we haven't really spoken. So obviously she knows who I am. And she got turned on to the podcast and started listening to it and is absolutely in love with it. She says it's one of the greatest things that she's heard in a long time. And it was just genuine appreciation. And it was really nice to just get feedback from someone that's kind of outside the circle. They either don't know me personally or don't go to La Bear or Hard Bodies. And so it was really rewarding. And she was just so excited about it. And actually, she was asking about Jimmy and Kenny because her favorite episode so far is the one where I had them on the show. So actually, when you see them, go ahead and give them a little shoot them that little compliment.
I definitely will. And I don't know your name, ma'am.
Tony.
But,
Tony.
Tony. Well, Tony, back at it again. All right. Well, we definitely on my brother's behalf, on my brother Caesar's behalf, and my behalf. Thank you so much for listening. We love the support, and we definitely appreciate it. And that goes for everybody. But I mean, Tony, you went out of your way to acknowledge the man and his podcast. So thank you, Tony. We appreciate you, girl.
Hey man, you've been on the show a handful of times yourself, so part of the cause, you know what I'm saying? Like our shows and ideas are so interlaced at this point, man. Like I almost feel you and I should just be a solo entity across multiple borders, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Be interesting.
Sweet, man. But all right, well that's a show. So once again, appreciate all our listeners out there. Definitely makes a difference. Shoot us some kind of feedback. Doesn't matter what, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, email, Facebook. Doesn't matter. Hit up XL. Hit up me. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, XL, where can people find you at?
Man, I'm on Instagram, Big XL84, and then I'm on Facebook, Gabe DJXL Cordova, and then Snapchat, same thing. But add me on Instagram and Facebook first so I can see you're a real person, and then you can add me on Snapchat. Because the Snapchat, people just be adding me. I don't know who it is, if it's a robot, not a robot, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's a little scary on Snapchat. But, yeah, you can find on those three.
Cool. Yeah, I've luckily stayed off of Snapchat thus far, and I probably will continue to do so. I got Twitter though, so you can catch me, Caesar Goyazo, COLLAZO on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I am Caesar LeBear7. I am Caesar LeBear on YouTube, and then on SoundCloud and iTunes, hit me up on Caesar the Crowd Pleaser. Once again, the Patreon is patreon.com/crowdpleaser. Check it out. Got behind the scenes footage of me creating acts, thought process, the reality show that I just finished. It's on YouTube. Definitely check it out if you haven't. See all the work that goes into the shows that these guys put forth to impress and entertain ladies. And I think that's it, brother. Sweet. So, XL, appreciate you being on the show once again. Thank you so much, man. I always enjoy kicking it with my boy.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm always down to help you out, brother. You are definitely family, and I'm always down for the cause, brother.
Sweet. Well, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, keep bringing the rain.
I am focused, I'm in my zone. You can binge watch like Game of Thrones. Reserve your judgments, don't throw no stones. Oohs and I scream as loud as you don't. Airplane mode on tablets and phones. Caesar's crowd pleasers is now on. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us.